Hello. How are you? Good. So made a video last night for today. I'm making one today. If you want two in one day, hey, you get two in one day. If you want something to listen to on Friday, you got something for Friday. It's probably not going to be the longest video because I do have a hard out. I have to be out and on the way to work at a certain time, so probably won't be super long. But I wanted to give you something, so I figured I could at least I could at least do something, even if it's only 15, 20 minutes. We got two stories. We're going to talk about the plane crash in Louisville, and then there was explosion, or there was a bomb threat at New Jersey polling stations. So that's not very cash money. I am not a huge fan of that. Um, where's my? It's a mess. It's always a mess over here. I am the most unorganized person I know. Excuse me while I get things ready. That I should have had these ready, but I don't. So you get what you get, I guess. You get what you get. There we go. Now, if there's audio we want to listen to, it doesn't blare through the screen. Okay, so long story short, New Jersey had bomb threats at their polling locations. And then that plane crash, it happened a few days ago, and we've kind of been holding off talking about it because I didn't want to dive into it, but I want to get into it now, see what happened. So here we have from ABC 7: arrests made after voting disrupted at some New Jersey polling sites for emailed bomb threats. Eyewitness News will have live coverage of the election results starting at 8 p.m. wherever you stream. I don't know when this. I believe this is for today, so this might have been for yesterday. Oh yeah, this is for the 4th. That's the 6th. So that's never mind. That's old news. Authorities in New Jersey announced an arrest in connection with bomb threats directed at a school polling location in North Brunswick, New Jersey, Tuesday morning, according to prosecutors. Police had launched an investigation early Tuesday after they began receiving several reports of a bomb threat in Livingston Park Elementary School via text message. Well, was it a text message or was it an email? The threat was quickly deemed to be a hoax. Investigators soon identified the subject, took the juvenile into custody, and recovered, quote, the electronic devices used in the threat. Here's the real question. Is this a juvenile? Does that mean they're 17, 18, or does that mean they're 12? Like, it's very vague. Then it's vague on purpose. I would wager, and this is just my opinion, with how much we've seen things getting spicy, I would wager that this was an attempt to keep people from showing up to vote, understanding this was probably an older juvenile. They probably were trying to keep Republicans from showing up to vote by saying, hey, there's a bomb. Democrats are probably going to lock it down and win if a if a minority shows up. It's probably going to be Democrats that are going to show up. So if we say, hey, bomb, don't come, the Democrats are probably going to be there. It's pretty obvious that most of the time it's Republicans show up later to vote because we have these things called jobs. I am in favor of at least national elections should be a holiday. It would be a little bit, well, I guess it wouldn't be too hard for states to say, hey, this is a holiday, you get the day off. I am not sure how the legislation would go about that, but I mean, it would get kind of fucking busy if it was like every single election you have a day off for. I think the easiest way to do it would just be have a waiver. You go to the polling station, you fill out the waiver, and you take the day off at work, right? You get a waiver, you fill out the waiver, and then you take the waiver to your boss, and it's a no point absence. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Anyway, I digress. So Republicans usually show up later in the day because, yeah, we work jobs. We Democrats tend to not have jobs, or if they do have jobs, they have part-time jobs, or they have office jobs where they can sneak away for 2 hours and go vote. It's not a big deal because they don't do anything. It's kind of hard to sneak away from a construction site for 2 hours to go vote. Or if you're driving a truck, it's kind of hard to sneak off and go vote real quick. It's not so hard if you work in an office and you're like, hey, can Bill cover me for like an hour? I want to go vote. It's not hard. So I believe, and this is my opinion, that this was probably an attempt to keep people from showing up. If we're going to say there's a bomb by lunchtime, everyone will say, hey, there's a bomb at the polling location. Don't go vote. It's not safe. Democrats probably have already voted because Democrats don't work, or they work part-time jobs. They've probably already got their votes in. We're gonna win this. It's gonna be a simple, easy win. Or alternative option number 2, the FBI was involved because the FBI is always involved. Remember that plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer that was all feds except for 2 people? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they're terrible at what they do. I'm just saying that what they do is terrible. It continues on. It was not immediately clear whether the subject of the arrest, a juvenile, was responsible for the threats made against other locations as well. If I had to guess, probably. Multiple polling places temporarily closed Tuesday morning in northern New Jersey after precedents filed. What? Oh, precincts. I can't read. Multiple polling places temporarily closed Tuesday morning in northern New Jersey after precincts filed. It's not filed. It's fielded. I just woke up. Let's try that one more time. Multiple polling places temporarily closed Tuesday morning in northern New Jersey after precincts fielded emailed bomb threats, later deemed to be not credible, prompting election officials to direct some voters to other polling locations. Holy shit! Why was that so hard to read? I'm out of it today. This is why it's good that I do these in the afternoon, because I've been awake for a minute. I don't have my fucking morning brain on. I haven't had any caffeine yet. I'm a fiend. Eventually, I have a little mini fridge over here. Eventually, that's going to be full of energy drinks. When this is sustainable, it will be a morning show. I'll just have like 14 gallons of Monster in my fridge. The New Jersey Attorney General Matthew Platkin, I think. I'm in love with you. I think that's Platkin. Said law enforcement responded to threats that were received by email in multiple counties that while polling locations have already reopened, at others, voters will be directed to a nearby polling location to cast their ballot. And how many people do you think are going to say, man, this is a pain in the ass. I'm not doing that. Hell with this. I'm going home. And how many people do you think are going to say, well, if there's a bomb threat at this one, there's probably a bomb threat at that one. I'm not getting blown up. Hell with it. I just won't vote. I think the objective is to get less people to show up, because when less people show up, Democrats win. Plain and simple. It seems like when there's a larger voter turnout, Republicans win. When there's a smaller voter turnout, Democrats seem to win. So that tells me you've got, we'll just say for argument's sake, say there's 100,000 people, right? And normally 40,000 people show up to vote and the Democrat wins. When there's a big turnout, it's 100,000 people show up to vote and the Republican wins. I think a lot of times the Republicans just sit there and say, I don't really care that much, so we'll just let whatever happens happen. I don't really care. I'm not going to dedicate my time to this. I'm not taking time off work for this. I'm just going to go about my day. Now we have larger crowds showing up to vote and Republicans are winning, so they need to shrink those crowds down, because it seems that when the crowd is smaller, it's more Democrat, and generally speaking, the Democrats win. Anyway, let's jump over to our next story from NPR. What to know about the deadly UPS plane crash in Louisville, Kentucky. Federal investigators are looking into a deadly UPS cargo plane crash in Kentucky. Well, closely. Oh, there's no R in there. Man, I just can't read today. Federal investigators looking into the deadly UPS cargo plane crash in Kentucky will closely examine the aircraft's maintenance records and data recorder after finding that one of its engines fell off during takeoff. Holy shit. I wonder if that was a DEI hire. The plane crashed and burst into flames Tuesday in Louisville, killing at least 12 people and injuring nearly 20 others. The disaster also shut down the largest UPS package distribution hub and disrupted some flights in and out of the airport in Kentucky's largest city. Excuse me. Fun fact, I was just in Louisville a week ago or so, and don't ever drive through Louisville. I was looking for a hotel, right? Because I'd been driving all day. I'm looking for a hotel, and usually when I'm out over the road, I'm driving an F-350 with like a regular like bumper pull trailer, not like a gooseneck, little like 30-footer or whatever. Pretty rad setup. I can fit just about anywhere. So I'm driving through Louisville, and I'm looking for somewhere to park, and it's all parking structures, and it's all pay to park. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'll just drive another hour. So I drove about 20 minutes outside of town and parked. Driving through Louisville, I think I was in Louisville for less than a mile. It took like 15 minutes to get through Louisville. And it was like not a busy time of the day either. Like, cities are awful. There's some videos on X. I should have pulled these up. I should have had these ready. I'm trying to find a video of it real quick. Because from what I saw, it was like, oh my God. Like, it was just a fireball. Here we have a video. I'm wondering if that wasn't the engine falling off, because it looks like there's something over here flying still. Yeah, right there. Is that the plane? Here we got an image of the engine. Holy cow. Another image of the engine. This is one of those you are your own first responder kind of moments. Oh, there you go. Holy shit, look at this person running back and forth. They don't know where to go. That is crazy. That's insane. I actually have not watched it yet. The aircraft was carrying over 38,000 gallons of fuel when it exploded mid-takeoff. The shelter in place remains in effect for those within 1 mile radius of the crash due to noxious fumes. Yeah, no, that's a bug-out situation. That right there is a bug-out situation. Because when you're on the ground, you don't know what happened. I do like this. I do agree with this. It's not political. It's a tragedy. These things do happen from time to time. Oh my gosh, the engine fell off while they were taking off. Why were they not grounded?
Bro, hold on.
That's crazy.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
How did they not catch that?
Holy shit. Cam, they're dead. They are dead, bro.
And this woman says 12 are now dead. 12 people have now been declared dead as of 6 minutes ago. That's insane. That is insane. I mean, it's pretty obvious to most people that that's an accident. It's pretty obvious to most people that this isn't like a direct attack. I'm going to be honest, at that point, there's nothing you can do to help as much as you want to help. Here we have it. It just crashed into the tops of buildings. I mean, you can try running into those buildings to help the people inside. Don't take my, that's not advice. I'm not saying you should do that, but like, what do you do? How do you get ready for something like that? How do you prepare for a plane to fall out of the sky? Look at this. There's a before and after. Here's the before and the after from the plane. Look at how much destruction. That is crazy. And it is so hard to help those people. How do you help those people? Like, what do you do for those people? Like, in that moment when that plane is falling out of the sky, you got two options, really. You're going to run into jet fuel flames, or you just get out of there. There's a certain argument to be made for just getting out of there. I mean, if you're right there, and it's lucky that only 12 people have been killed. It is lucky that only 12 people were killed in that. I mean, the fact that that wasn't a higher death rate is mind blowing. That more people aren't dead. I'm going to be honest. I'm happy that more people aren't dead, but it is mind blowing that there was only 12 deaths. I mean, that looks like there should have been at least 100 people. Like, I don't know how anybody on board the plane survived. It looks like it was a UPS pilot, so I'm wondering if there weren't passengers on it. Maybe it was just cargo. I don't know. Let's find out. I gotta say, I bought this mechanical keyboard. I bought this mechanical keyboard because I thought, like, oh yeah, it'll be nice because the buttons are more sensitive, so like I'll be able to type faster. It takes me 4 times longer to type anything because the buttons are so sensitive. If you look at them, it inputs that letter. And also they have like a half click. So even if you just graze it, it inputs that letter. Don't buy mechanical keyboards. I'm going back to a regular keyboard. Like, I'm terrible with a keyboard as it is. Now add to the fact that the buttons are so sensitive. Like, it's terrible. So there were no passengers on the UPS plane that crashed. The aircraft was a cargo plane operated by UPS and was only carrying 3 crew members on board. All 3 crew members died in the incident. That's terribly tragic. That really, really is. I know a lot of times planes will carry a small amount of cargo and passengers. I don't know how often that happens, but I know that's a thing that does happen. So I wasn't sure if that was the situation here, or if it was, like just a cargo plane. It seemed like it was just a cargo plane. So, I mean, that's probably why the number of people is so low. I mean, that's just, how do you prepare for that? Like, we do all this stuff to be ready for shit hit the fan, for, the Russians to fall out of the sky. Like, we're ready for civil disobedience. We're ready for the apocalypse. We're ready for the bombs to drop, and we're going to dip into the bunkers in Appalachia, but we're not ready for a plane to fail. And it really does look like this was just a simple plane failure. I do wonder if DEI played a role in this. Was there a diversity hire here? I do wonder what happened here. Like, what caused this? If something had to. Was it diversity hire? Was it, like what was the leading cause of this, I wonder? Or was it just complacency. Someone worked on that plane a million times, and they were like, the engine's tight, John. I'm not checking the bolts. It's tight. Like, get out of here. Like, I just wonder. Because if the engine fell off, I mean, I understand, like, these engines produce an immense amount of torque and thrust, and these engines they are pushing hard on whatever they're bolted to. So a small wiggle could be the difference between that engine ripping off and that engine staying attached. I mean, like, it doesn't even have to be like a loose bolt. It could just be a stretched bolt or a little crack in the metal, or it could have been anything could have caused that engine to rip off. At the amount of thrust those engines produce, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they're pushing 38,000 pounds of fuel alone into the sky and defying gravity. And that's not even counting the cargo. That's just the fuel that is loaded onto the plane. 38,000 pounds of fuel. That's a shit ton of fuel. I think diesel fuel is like 6 pounds per gallon. So you can do the math on that. I think like diesel and gas are somewhere around like 6 or maybe it's 8 pounds per gallon. So it's like, just call it 10 pounds per gallon for argument's sake. That's 3,800 pounds of fuel, or that's 3,800 gallons of fuel. I mean, that's a lot of fuel. And then to just see a tragedy like this where a plane falls out of the sky, like it's, you can have all the stuff, you can have all the kit, but when something like that happens, I mean, beyond having a water truck, there's not much you can do. You can try to go into the buildings and help people, but I mean, those buildings are on fire. I mean, it's not going to be fun. I mean, it might be. I don't know. You might find running into burning buildings to be fun. If you do, I'm not going to fuck with you. You're clearly crazy. But, I mean, yeah, you could try making entrance and just trying to establish contact or calling out for anyone. But, I mean, at a certain point, jet fuel burns hot. Like, it's going to get to the point where you cannot physically walk any farther without melting your own skin off. I mean, not without protective gear, not without water. A fire extinguisher is not going to cut it at that point. Like, you're just, I mean, yeah, do what you can, but like, there's not a lot you can do. And it's one of those things that, as someone who tries to be prepared and someone who's like, yeah, I can defend people, I can protect life. When you see something like that and you're like, man, I can't protect those people, I can't defend those people, it really fucks with you. Because it's like, I carry a gun so that I can protect people. I carry a gun so that I can protect myself, my family, my neighbors. I carry a gun so that if I'm in a store getting robbed, I can protect the people there, or at least try to make a difference. But in something like that, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, we have fire extinguishers in our semis. Why? Because sometimes shit catches on fire. Like, it's a good idea to have a fire extinguisher in your car, even if you don't use it for any extreme use. Have a fire extinguisher in your car. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. I had one in my Mustang. I had it mounted right under my front seat, like at the driver's seat, right at my feet. So that because I modified the car, if anything ever happened while I was driving it, on the racetrack or whatever, being hard on it, getting everything nice and extra hot, if ever like a fuel leak sprung and it ignited, I've got a fire extinguisher. I can at least try to put it out. I mean, there's something there. Or if, we take fire extinguishers. My brother has them on his side-by-side. We usually have a fire extinguisher in one of the vehicles we're taking off-road, just in case. So you build a fire and it gets a little out of hand. You can put it out quickly with a fire extinguisher. I mean, now I usually keep fires small, so you don't have to, but I digress. The point remains, it's good to have a fire extinguisher. Or maybe you have a carbureted truck and you're on a real off-camber thing and some fuel burps out of the carburetor and ignites. I mean, shit happens. Weird things happen. It's not a bad idea to have a fire extinguisher. I mean, but like, even in this situation, like, 1 million fire extinguishers wouldn't be enough. Like, I don't know how you put that out. I think at that point, do you just like soak everything around it and just let it burn out? I'd have to say that's probably the only answer, honestly, is you soak everything around it and you just let the center burn. I don't know. I'm not a firefighter. But yeah, I digress. I mean, this is a hard story to talk about because 12 people are dead because of an accident. That's always the worst. We talk about like the truck drivers that get CDLs illegally and they get into crashes because they don't understand the laws or they don't understand the road signs, and it's like that. There's someone to be mad at for that. The person who gave them a CDL, the person who drove the truck. Like, there's people to be mad at this. This was a freak accident. At least it seems this was a freak accident. I'm not saying that there wasn't some sort of sabotage or something. But for all intents and purposes, it really does look like it was just a freak accident. These things do happen from time to time. I mean, wheels fall off cars. Why couldn't an engine fall off a plane? I've seen entire sets of dual tires with a brake drum and everything that have fallen off of semi trucks or trailers, or like, if that can happen, why can't an engine fall off of a plane or explode and get blown off? I'm not sure exactly what happened. It's kind of hard to tell. Why is that? Like when a wheel falls off a semi and takes out someone's windshield and causes an accident and kills somebody, we don't sit there and say, "Oh, this was the left. Oh, this was the right." But when a plane loses an engine and crashes, everyone wants to say, "Oh, this is Trump's fault. This is Biden's fault." It's like, accidents happen. It's a tragedy. It's not Trump's fault. It's not Biden's fault. It's a tragedy. It's an accident. These things happen. Anyway, that's all I got for you. I guess I did squeeze out a full-length video, and I didn't even have to get that autistic. That's all I got for you. I will see you all next week. So, like I said, this will be the video for Friday. If you want to watch something on Friday, I will not be making one. So I figured I would at least make you one today. So you get two today if you want to hear my beautiful voice longer. That's all I got for you.